an individual teacher and also by department. Also, we have Students of the Month here at the high school, and the Students of the Month are Remington Schrendel, Tyler Laura, Milena Tappan, Amanda Fitchett, and Mark Schlanderer. So congratulations to those students. And that is what we have for the building reports.
Awesome. Congratulations to the Students of the Month. That's incredible. Now we have finance and our approval of door security barricade contract.
The Board of Education must approve by law and policy the purchase of any item or group of items in a single transaction costing more than $22,386. That's policy 6320, purchasing. We posted an RFP for door security barricades and installation in December. The bid opening was January 5th, 2024. Bid results were discussed at the work session on January 16th, 2024. At this time, I would recommend we contract the night lock for the project. Discussed and recommended by committee 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Wade.
I move the Board of Education approve Nightlock as the contractor for the door security barricade purchase and installation. The contract will be attached to the official minutes, marked Roman numeral 8B1.
Support. Motion and support. Is there any discussion?
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Walden.
Ms. Bond, did we solidify what funding this is coming from? There was mention of a grant, right, Mike?
31AA.
32.
31A.
31AA. Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have applied for that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up is personnel and resignations.
The Board of Education may agree to a resignation or retirement at any time after a replacement suitable to the school administration and the board is obtained, provided that the circumstances underlying the resignation or retirement are valid in the opinion of the board and warrant a search for replacement. Mrs. Casey Allen has submitted her resignation as principal of Orchard Primary. Her last day will be February 13th, 2024. Discussed and recommended by committee 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education accept the resignation of Mrs. Allen and wish her well in the future.
Support. Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we have new hires.
The Board of Education approves all personnel. ACS hires with the grant funding provided by the state. I'm pleased to recommend Mrs. Vanessa Ruiz for the additional Dean of Students position at Almont High School. Mrs. Ruiz comes to us with degrees in psychology and education and has experience certifications in grant writing, SAFE, STAR, and EAET. Mrs. Ruiz comes to us from Dakota High School. With the resignation of our previous school counselor, Mr. Shiflett conducted several rounds of interviews and is pleased to recommend Mrs. Dina Narad as our new school counselor. Mrs. Narad comes highly qualified to us with degrees in school counseling and college student development. Mrs. Narad was most recently employed in Armada Schools as a school counselor. GEX positions to fill: varsity softball coach, assistant varsity softball coach, discussed and recommended by committee 3-0.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education approve Vanessa Ruiz and Dina Narad as new hires and welcome them to the district.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion?
Mrs. Edwards,
Yes, Missy.
I would just like to say, we've had a chance to meet both of you. They're here today. I am hearing you guys are knocking it out of the park, and welcome to Almont School. We're really excited to have you here.
Okay, yes.
Yes, I echo what Ms. Fred just said. Welcome. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you for being here.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Carries.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education recommend that GEX fill the positions of varsity softball coach and assistant varsity softball coach.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, and teacher change in pay.
In order to be eligible to advance from one lane on the salary schedule to a higher lane, a teacher must make written proof of the completion of courses and/or degree requirements in the form of an official transcript of credits from the institution from which the credits were earned. Master agreement between the Board of Education and the Almont Education Association. Kennedy Kaufman is moving from a BA 18 to a master's. Discussed and recommended 3-0.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I move the Board of Education advance Kennedy Kaufman to the appropriate level of the salary schedule in accordance with provisions outlined in the master agreement between the Board of Education and the Almont Education Association, and commend her for her commitment to continued learning.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations, and we appreciate your continued efforts. That brings us to policy and school of choice.
The Board of Education may accept non-resident students into our schools. Facts, the Almont schools participate in 2 school of choice programs. One program, as outlined in Section 105 of the school code, allows students in Lapeer and intermediate school district boundaries to apply to our schools. The other is outlined in Section 105C of the school code and allows students in those counties contiguous to the Lapeer ISD to apply. Genesee, Macomb, Oakland, Sanilac, St. Clair, and Tuscola. We're recommending the students listed below be accepted through the schools of choice programs. We have 1 6th grade student, 1 10th grade student, 3 11th grade students, 1 12th grade student. Discussed and recommended by committee 3-0.
Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Batani.
Move the Board of Education accept a student on the list below for the second semester of the 2023-2024 school year through the 105C and 105 School of Choice programs.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our Neola policy updates are next.
The board adopts bylaws and policies for organization and operation of the board and district. Bylaws and policies may be adopted, amended, and repealed at any meeting of the board, provided the proposed adoption, amendment, or repeal shall have been proposed at a previous board meeting, and once proposed shall have remained on the agenda of each succeeding board meeting until approved or rejected. Bylaw 0131.1. The district's policy service, Neola, has provided the following new and replacement policies. This is the second read. Neola Update 38-1 Fall 2023 and special update November 2023. See the complete updates in the Board of Education Drive, which we did. The bylaws and policies, Policy 1540, Administrative Staff Reduction Recalls. Policy 2370.01, Online Blended Learning Program, revised. Policy 7217, Weapons, revised. Policy 7540.03, Student Technology Acceptable Use and Safety, revised. Policy 8305, Information Security, Technical Correction. Policy 8531, Free and Reduced Price Meals, revised. Policy 3131, Staff Reductions / Recalls. Recommended and discussed 3-0.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Batani.
I move the Board of Education approve policies 1540, 2370-01, 7217, 7540.03, 8305, 8531, and 3131.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion?
Ms. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Walton.
I just want to recognize the support that Neil has given us and the special attendance that we had in December. I think it was very helpful, especially with these changes that took place.
I concur. That was immensely beneficial to have him there with us.
Great.
So, and thank you, Ms. Vaughn, for arranging that for us.
Of course. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, last but not least, approval of the overnight trip.
The Board of Education approves all student trips which require an overnight stay or out-of-state travel, Policy 2340. Our cheer program is planning an overnight trip to attend the North American Spirit Summer Camp. Their first camp choice will be held at Kalahari Resort in Sandusky, Ohio. The camp will be held on July 26th through July 28th, 2024. Their second camp choice, if the first one is full, will be held at the Bavarian Inn located in Frankenmuth, Michigan. This camp will be held from July 15th through July 17th, 2024. The purpose of these camps are to gain knowledge, skills, and techniques that will improve each athlete, both individually and as a team. In addition to the new techniques and skills, these athletes will create a team bond that will help them grow and build positive relationships throughout the program.
Mrs. Edwards.
Yes, Mr. Katina.
I move the Board of Education approve the cheer camp trip in July of 2024.
Support.
Motion and support. Is there any discussion? I believe Mr. Walton sent an email about doing just a blanket approval of like last minute trips. That way they don't have to wait for our board meetings. So maybe that's something we could look at that way. We're not holding anybody up.
That's great. Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. This brings us to our second questions and comments from the audience. Same reminder, it is not two-way communication and there will be a 3-minute time limit. Are there any questions or comments? All right. So board questions, comments.
Mrs. Edwards?
Yes, Ms. Fred.
It's really nice to be able to put names and faces together by having our new hires come in. And maybe we can discuss having that happen as we hire, staff in the future. It really is nice for us to be able to, see actually who they are and get an introduction to them. Thank you.
Mrs. Evans,
Yes, Ms.
I just want to say welcome. We're excited that you guys are here. Thank you for being here tonight, and also to the student council. That was just wonderful tonight. So.
Yes. I'll echo what both Ms. Fred and Ms. Smith said. It was such a great evening with our student council, and it's so nice to be able to meet you and get to know you a little bit. And I just had tonight was so great. It really reminds us of the positives, and I needed tonight, so it was good.
Right. Can I share?
Yes.
On that note, just again, in light of the board of the Appreciation Month, this was shared with me to provide to the Board of Education on the behalf of OP. So this is a poster that they did make for you. I believe it's a tradition to create a new art project for the Board of Education, and we'll put it outside or inside of our board office area. But I'll kind of pass this down so you can kind of take a look at it. But definitely wanted to thank OP for their efforts. This is from your students, art students, and Mrs. Tencha presented this to me tonight. Okay.
Pass on our appreciation.
Yeah,
I
of
always
course.
love to see what they come up with.
Yeah.
Any other board comments before I remember future agenda items tonight for the first time ever? Future agenda items, anyone? No? All right, Mr. Walton.
Ms. Edwards,
Yes.
I move the Board of Education adjourn the January 22nd, 2024 regular meeting at 7:23 p.m.
Support.
Motion and support. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. Look at us.
I know, it's great. Amazing.
It went that quick because of you guys.